Welcome everyone. We're just gonna give it a few seconds so everybody can join the webinar. Thank you so much for joining. Start sharing where are you connecting from. We'll start the webinar in a few seconds. Okay. Welcome everyone to another fantastic webinar brought to you today by JPMorgan Chase and the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today, we'll have a very dynamic Q&A session with Chase Senior Business Consultants that will help you set up your business for success in 2022. Este webinar será bilingüe, así que se aceptarán preguntas en español y en inglés. Bienvenidos, el día de hoy estaremos respondiendo todas sus preguntas de negocios para que su negocio se vaya totalmente para arriba en este 2022. So for those joining us live from our USHEC Facebook page, welcome and please submit any questions using the comments field. And for those of you joining us live via Zoom, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screens and start submitting your questions now. Now, before we start with this interactive Q&A, it's my honor to introduce the President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Ramiro Cavazos. Welcome, Ramiro. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Laura. It's a pleasure to be on here with you and everyone that's joining us from around the country. We're very excited about today's session. Laura, thank you for the great job you do in making sure that we provide information and educate our members. As a United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we want to work for our members, and we have 260 Hispanic Chambers of Commerce around the country that are each of them, in the words of Susana Marino from Northern Virginia's Latino Chamber, each of them over the last few years has become an economic oasis, an emergency room for economic development opportunities, information, and of course, just a network of people that can support our small businesses. We all know that because of COVID, we've all been impacted, but our Latino-owned businesses were already challenged even before the pandemic. In fact, during the last 2 years, just in the restaurant business alone, more than 110,000 restaurants were closed throughout the whole country. That includes all ethnic groups, Anglo, African American, Asian, Latino, and many others. So the impact has been felt, but we have a great partner in JPMorgan Chase that really cares about helping our small businesses grow. They get it when it comes to the future economy coming through our Hispanic community. We have 5 million Latino-owned businesses in America, and those businesses rely on capital, capacity building, and of course, connections to be successful. That's our focal point. I have the honor of working for those 260 Latino chambers that are the light of opportunity in their local communities, from Puerto Rico to Hawaii, Seattle to Florida, Maine to the Rio Grande Valley Magic area, all the way in between. We also have those 5 million Latino-owned businesses creating jobs, feeding their families, contracting services out. But the last piece of that is corporate America, people that are our professionals at JPMorgan Chase, opening those doors of opportunity to those 340 million Americans. The most important economic movement of our time is to support our Hispanic community with more than 62 million Latinos. 1 out of every 5 Americans self-identifies as Hispanic. And so on behalf of our corporate members like JPMorgan Chase, we're excited about this webinar, our chambers, and of course, our small business owners. Each of them has joined us today. Our chairwoman of the board is Alice Rodriguez. as it turns out, with JPMorgan Chase. She has been a volunteer leader for more than 6 years with our chamber, a very passionate business leader, and one that really cares about the services that we provide to provide more access to capital, help give our businesses the tools that they need, and of course, connect them to contracts, supplier diversity, because we need all three. And so on behalf of our chamber staff, we work for you and we're proud of it. And we want to serve you, our chambers, our small businesses, and of course, our corporations. So with that, muchísimas gracias a todos los que nos han acompañado. Ya me escucharon un poquito en inglés de los servicios de la Cámara. Estamos interesados en capital, en capacitación y conexiones para más contratos, más negocio, capital para fortalecer nuestros negocios y también, obviamente, los recursos que se necesitan para tener éxito. Y para nosotros es muy importante correr la Cámara Hispana de Comercio de los Estados Unidos para servir a nuestra comunidad latina, que representan más del 20% de la población de este país y es el futuro de nuestra economía. We have the largest economy in the world, and it depends on our Hispanic citizens and our Hispanic small businesses. So without further ado, on behalf of our chairwoman, our board of directors, and our constituencies, it is our honor to partner with JPMorgan Chase on this exciting webinar with some outstanding business leaders. And I'm happy to say they're all women. And so they not only care and have passion, but they definitely are leading the way. Last week, we had an excellent 2022 Business Leaders Outlook session with Jim Glassman, who's an economist with JPMorgan Chase. We had a great conversation with him, and we learned a lot about what the perspective is about the future from Latinos. We do see 2022 more positively than non-Latinos when it comes to small business. So we're resilient, and we also know that it's up to us to be strong. We also want to thank, Mikal Quarles, who led a great panel with 3 outstanding Latina business owners that bank at Chase that really helped us guide where we're going. But it was teeing up our session for today. Today, we have more information that's going to be presented to us by an outstanding corporate leader within JPMorgan Chase about the actual economic outlook and the survey. And then she will also moderate a panel with some great leaders from Chase and also entrepreneurs. So at this time, me da un orgullo tremendo. It is my honor, my great honor, to introduce our great Chase representative and moderator for today's panel, Sandra Magallon. She is the Midwest area manager, and she's with Chase, and she has over 24 years of experience with Chase and 30 years within the financial services area. You wouldn't know it by seeing her, but she has obviously been in this field for a good while, and she's led a great team of senior business consultants who are responsible for advising minority-owned businesses. And she's been a key resource with her and her team to help our small businesses, many of them Latino and Latino-owned businesses. And so she and her senior business consultants really utilize their acumen and their network to actively involve and support community organizations such as ours and yours to advise them and provide access to capital solutions for helping our businesses start, run, and grow their business. There is nothing more important right now than building back our economy. And I know that Sandra and her team are ready to help. The consultants that she works with closely also support CDFIs to help influence our community development financial institutions and community resources to develop more strategies that are solutions for access to capital to our community and increase our economic growth. So with that said, I'm very honored to be here with you, Sandra. Muchísimas gracias. And so thank you for your service at JPMorgan Chase and for this excellent presentation you're going to give us and then moderating this great panel. Thank you so much.
Gracias, Ramiro. Thank you so much for such a warm introduction. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. I want to give a quick overview of what we learned from our 2022 Business Leadership Outlook. And this is really good information to try and really create that road and that map that you need in order to recover. And so we learned that despite an evolving economy and the economic landscape and setbacks stemming from the pandemic, business leaders are feeling more optimistic about their industry performance compared to 2021. The survey shows that most small and mid-sized business leaders remain focused on growth plans in the year ahead, with 81% of mid-sized businesses and 63% of small businesses anticipating increases in their revenue and sales. In line with the anticipated growth, more than 4 in 10 of those surveys expected credit needs to increase in 2022, representing the highest percentage recorded in the last 5 years. These growth expectations are shared by Black, Hispanic, and Latino small business owners who have been disproportionately affected by the pandemic. Business leaders also shared increased optimism about their respective company and industry performance, as well as their local, national, and global outlooks compared to 1 year ago. For our Hispanic businesses, it's no secret that COVID-19, the pandemic, had disproportionately affected the Black, Hispanic, and Latino small businesses. Hispanic owners are more likely to say their business was negatively affected by the pandemic and than the Black population and other small business owners. 60% felt more of the impact. Yet Hispanic and Latino owners' optimism is one of the parts that really is exciting to see these small business owners be optimistic of 2022. Their expectations are highly positive. Owners project greater increases for capital expenditures, credit needs, and in a total sample of 37% of Hispanic and Latino small business owners report that their biggest challenge has been shifting consumer habits due to COVID-19. We will talk about some of these challenges in our discussion today. And the other good point is that while Hispanic and Latino business owners have high expectations for the future, there is significant concern when it comes to finding quality workers. Business owners are trying multiple approaches. They're trying to increase wages, benefits, upskills, and really trying to attract talent to ensure that they're going to be successful in 2022. Hispanic owners are more concerned about the limited supply of qualified candidates in total in the sample overall. Owners were also more likely to experience decreased revenues due to the pandemic, but expect the tide to turn in 2022. Nearly 90% of Hispanic business owners say they are actively seeking coaching, entrepreneurial, training, guidance to help run their business. So to Ramiro's point, we really are going to talk about the 3 C's: capital, capacity, and connecting. That is going to be the ongoing trend in 2022. I would be remiss not to mention that through JPMorgan's $20 billion commitment, we launched a new program, which is led by our manager, who you heard from, our national head, Mikkel Quarles. This new program will provide Hispanic entrepreneurs with access to one-on-one coaching, mentorship, and other valuable resources. As Ramiro, as he commented in the opening remarks, we do work closely with all of our community. We work closely with nonprofits, with chambers of commerce, which are the lifeline of our small businesses, and as well as CDFIs. Today, you will have a chance to speak to 3 of our consultants. We are here to help you. We're help you to help you serve a better business, expand and scale your business. If you want to learn more about this program, I would go ahead and recommend that you visit us at chase.com/business consultant. I will make sure to go ahead and drop that link on the chat. In addition to that, we also have a landing page that's in Spanish. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and follow Ramiro's lead. Bueno, bienvenidos a todos ustedes que han venido a estar aquí con nosotros. Hoy tenemos un programa totalmente que va a estar lleno de información con 3 de los consultores que están con nosotros hoy. Todos son parte de nuestro programa de JPMorgan Chase. En los estudios que hicimos últimamente, en qué era la opinión de todos los líderes que son dueños y empresarios, hubo mucho sentimiento de optimismo de 2022. Todos sabemos que lo que pasó durante la pandemia afectó a todos los negocios, pero claramente afectó a muchos de los negocios que están en nuestra comunidad latina. Entre la ayuda de las cámaras de comercio, los bancos y todos los demás las asesorías que tenemos, que les podemos ofrecer a ustedes, van a poder ayudarles poder sobresalir todos sus objetivos en 2022. Estamos felices de estar aquí con ustedes. Tengo a 3 de mis consultoras que son parte de mi programa en JPMorgan Chase. Es un nuevo programa que iniciamos en octubre 2020. Este es parte de nuestra meta de tratar de ayudar a empresarios como ustedes poder crecer ayudándoles con toda la información que nosotros tenemos aquí en Chase. Con nuestra alianza con todas las cámaras de comercios, podremos darles a ustedes la guía y la asesoría que ustedes ocupan para poder crecer. Y voy a presentar a las 3 consultoras que son parte de nuestro grupo para que podamos empezar nuestra charla de qué es lo que uno puede hacer para poder avanzar su negocio. Hello, we're going to go ahead and introduce our 3 consultants. And so I'll go ahead and start with Alejandra Fajardo. Alejandra, if you could please give us a brief overview of who you are, where you're located, and then we could go ahead and hand it off to Vanessa and then Grace. Alejandra, the mic is yours.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Thank you very much for being part of this exciting workshop, Q&A workshop. My name is Alejandra Fajardo. I'm a senior business consultant. I'm located in Chicago. We are in Illinois, but we also have some clients that are in Milwaukee and Indiana. So we are always open to help everyone around this area. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alejandra Fajardo, soy consultora de negocios en el programa de minorías de JPMorgan Chase. Yo estoy dando asesoría bilingüe en el área de Chicago, pero también en las áreas que están alrededor de Illinois. I used to work for the Women's Business Development Center, that is a nonprofit organization that helps business owners. Most of the business owners are startups, and I have some business owners that are just starting, but most of my clients are clients that are established, and it's very nice to be able to help to move those business to the next level. La mayoría de mis negocios, de los clientes de negocios que estoy asesorando, son negocios que apenas están comenzando, pero también tengo clientes que ya están establecidos y es muy importante porque cuando nosotros podemos analizar esos clientes que están establecidos, podemos ayudar a mover su negocio al siguiente nivel. Es un honor para mí estar aquí. Si tienen preguntas, por favor, hagan las preguntas en inglés o en español. It's an honor to be part of this workshop. Please, you can send your questions in English or Spanish, whatever you want. No French. Thank you.
Vanessa.
Bueno, muchas tardes. Un placer de estar aquí con ustedes. Mi nombre es Vanessa Blanco. Yo como Alejandra, yo soy la consultora aquí en Nueva York. Yo soy una consultora aquí en Nueva York y nosotros, como dijeron antes, estamos aquí para ayudarles. Yo ya llevo 15 años en el banco, he trabajado aquí en el JPMorgan por muchos años, también estuve en otro banco grande. Estoy trabajando desde los 11 años, como muchos de nosotros aquí en la línea. Como sabemos que los latinos nos encantan comenzar negocios y siempre hay formas de saber más y cómo nos podemos aprender qué es lo que están ofreciendo los bancos o las comunidades alrededor de nosotros. So, es un placer estar aquí en inglés. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vanessa Blanco. As my former colleague Alejandra mentioned, I am her peer here in New York. I am one of 3 here in New York City. I've been in banking for the last 15 years, but I've been working since I was 11. I'm the product of immigrant parents from Colombia. And as many know, the Latino market, quick to open businesses, whether they think they're running a business or not, whether it's making it arroz and selling it to the neighbors in the house or whatever the case may be, but we're here to be of a resource. You know, I think it's so important to know what's out there, but you don't know what you don't know. So there's never a silly questions that are too big or too small. We're really here to be a resource. It's a pleasure. I'll hand it off to my partner, Grace.
Thank you, Vanessa, Alejandra, and everyone in this incredible panel and this opportunity to be here today. Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí presente. Yo soy Grace Escudero desde Miami, Florida, Sunshine State. Un honor estar aquí con ustedes para poder ayudarles con cualquier información importante que les ayude a avanzar en sus negocios. Y por supuesto, con los años de experiencia que tenemos en este panel, yo con 15 años en el sur de la Florida, ayudando a empresarios hispanoamericanos y también en todas las culturas que reflejan nuestra diversidad en los distintos mercados. Un honor para mí estar aquí. Thank you very much for having us today, and no question should be left untouched today, and we hope to be a resource to you and mobilize all the resources in the community that we have available for businesses to grow. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, everyone has had a chance to meet our panelists here, and like I stated, please feel free to ask questions. You're surrounded here by, I would say, an average of 20 years of experience in banking, and so I wanted to go ahead and open it up to see if there's any questions from our team, and see if there's anything that we can go ahead and help with in regards to any questions that you may have. So I'm taking a look
Sandra,
here.
I think this will be a great opportunity to tell people, our audience that is learning about this program for the first time, just what type of questions are you expecting from them, right? Is this regarding financing? ¿Qué tipo de preguntas son las que deberían compartir el día de hoy? Because I know that all business owners have plenty of questions, but I just want to make sure that they ask the right questions so they take the most advantage out of your expertise.
Laura, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes. So I would say that some of the questions that my team actually does really, that we get a lot from our businesses is, why is diversity important for businesses? Like, why is it that we need to go ahead and create a diverse environment in order to be able to go ahead and expand our client base, right? I think that for many years, we've been very used to having a client base that would come, especially if you had a brick and mortar, right? And so I think the pandemic has clearly changed the way that we as consumers and our audience as consumers are shopping today. And so I would say that when you're thinking about diversity, diversifying your business and the importance of diversifying, it truly is creating an opportunity for you to really have a farther reach. For example, we're working with a lot of small businesses who didn't have any social media, Laura. They didn't have any Facebook, they didn't have any Instagram, and they weren't able to go ahead and open their doors due to the pandemic. And so a number of them found different ways to be able to go ahead and sell their products, through going ahead and creating a different way of being able to meet their consumer needs. So I wanted to go ahead and I'll open it up to Alejandra. Alejandra, I know that you've worked with a lot of small businesses with brick and mortar, but would love to kind of hear what you've done as you've coached some of these small businesses, just to see, so that the audience could learn about the different ways that we're helping small businesses through helping them pivot during this difficult time.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for that question. I was just answering some, sending some messages through the chat. I have some of my mentees there, and yeah, it's been very exciting for me to be part of this program. During the pandemic, I received several calls from different clients and with different problems. And I call it problems, but then it pivoted to a great opportunity. I have some clients that they were like they were not having clients coming to their business, to the restaurant, but then I connect them to these organizations that can help them to work with their social media. So now they're getting a lot of sales because of that. They're doing sales in a different way. And one more thing that I love is that our Latino community, it's very eager to open a business. You know, like during the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, we have several business owners opening their doors to the public, and they were not afraid. They wanted to do it. I heard something that I want to share with you. If you lose your why, you will lose your way. You know, and something that we have, the Latino community, is that we don't lose our why, and we want to do something. And as we say, donde ponemos el ojo, ponemos la bala, right? And it's very, very good for me to be part of this process. So when the clients come to me and ask me for a group of trusted professionals, like accountants, like attorneys, I'm able to refer those clients to several accountants, business accountants that can help them with that part of the business. And if it is like they need to write some business contracts, I'm able to contact them to those professionals as well. And also if it is access to capital, we review, we check if they really need to borrow, and if there is some opportunities also to apply for grants. There are several grants. The state of Illinois has grants for business owners. The city of Chicago has grants for business owners, and every single city has something for business owners. So it's important that you come to us, you call us, you ask us for that, and we can help you to get there. And if it is through the bank, we can help you as well. We can connect you with our internal partners, and we can work together to get you to that point. The idea is to help the business to move to the next level, and that's why we're here. Ahora ahí va en español, rapidito. Muchos de los clientes que han venido conmigo para ayuda, me han pedido ayuda en diferentes áreas de su negocio. Algunas veces han venido diciéndome, bueno, ya no sé qué hacer porque no tengo clientes que están viniendo, tienen miedo por la pandemia, no están vacunados o lo que sea y no pueden venir a mi negocio. Entonces, ellos han tenido que aprender a girar ese negocio y girar las estrategias de venta. Entonces, los he conectado con organizaciones y algunas personas que les han ayudado a trabajar sus redes sociales. Y es muy importante trabajar las redes sociales para llegar a más clientes. Algunos de esos clientes también han venido conmigo y me han dicho, bueno, tengo esta idea, quiero abrir este negocio y no tienen miedo de abrirlo. Tengo clientes que abrieron el negocio en medio de la pandemia. Y hay un dicho que me gusta, que lo escuché hace una semana, que dice, si pierdes tu por qué, vas a perder tu camino, ¿verdad? Y eso es algo que no perdemos la comunidad latina. Tenemos muy claro que muchos de nosotros no queremos trabajar para alguna organización y lo que queremos es ayudar a, bueno, abrir nuestro negocio, ¿verdad? Entonces, la forma en que nosotros les he estado ayudando a través de este programa de minoría es tener acceso a capital, tener acceso a un equipo de profesionales de confianza, como abogados de negocios, contadores de negocios, y también si necesitan tener acceso a capital, los ayudamos a que tengan ese acceso a capital, primero a checar si es algo que necesitan y también los conectamos con aquellos subsidios que están disponibles a nivel estatal o a nivel local. Entonces es muy importante que se acerquen a nosotros para darles toda la información necesaria que les pueda ayudar a mover su negocio al siguiente nivel. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Alejandra. And I want to take a moment to answer Cindy's question. Indeed, all markets are different. And one thing 2020 and the rise of the pandemic has taught us is to adapt and pivot with different technological advancements that really help us stay connected. Sandra mentioned to stay connected and be able to leverage the opportunities and the capital and resources that we have. So this is a testament today of what we're doing, that we are local, that we are here to support you and your business, despite not having a physical location or branch. What's important is that you have our landing page to communicate with a personable individual that's able to connect with you and understand the different industry trends that your business may be experiencing. I do want to emphasize our mentorship program and the importance of what we're trying to accomplish here. Not only to empower by providing each one of you one-on-one coaching opportunities, but also providing technical assistance and connectivity to other advocacy organizations and partners that are really going to help your business grow. In each one of our markets, we have the presence to provide this opportunity and accessibility to each one of you in English, in Spanish, y que voy a pasar a español. Es muy importante entender que, por supuesto, cada mercado es distinto, nosotros lo entendemos y el objetivo de esta llamada también es demostrar que nosotros podemos tener un impacto personal a cada uno de estos mercados y cada negocio que uno tiene, que tiene distintos obstáculos y oportunidades. Cómo nosotros tenemos esta presencia en las sucursales, en llamadas Zoom, o sea que ustedes se pueden conectar con nosotros en vivo y en directo para cualquier tipo de pregunta que se relacione a acceso a capital, desarrollo de su empresa, flujo de caja, asistencia técnica y, por supuesto, como dije, conectarlos, como dijo Alejandra, con organizaciones que nosotros históricamente hemos ayudado, incluyendo a la Cámara de Comercio de los Estados Unidos, que es realmente un aliado de la comunidad para todos avanzar juntos y crear una economía inclusiva. Gracias.
So perfect. So I'll take the next question. Someone said, for lower income individuals who want to start a business or build their bank account for future endeavors, this is such a great question. A lot of times we get folks to say, well, where do I start? As my colleagues previously mentioned, there are so many organizations, whether you live in a big city or a small city, whether it is through the SBA, and or us locally. So Grace mentioned that we go ahead and speak via Zoom, right? But a lot of things that, a lot of times what I would say is go onto the SBA.gov, enter your zip code, and it will tell you your local and closest institution that help business owners, whether it's developing a business plan, whether it's understanding cash flow, whether it's understanding access to capital. So I highly recommend going to sba.gov and finding your closest or nearest office to help support business owners. Bueno, so entonces voy a decir esto en español. So la pregunta fue en partes donde no hay tanta visibilidad de bancos, uno que está comenzando un negocio, ¿a dónde puede comenzar a coger ayuda? O puede comenzar a pedir dinero como un préstamo. So siempre lo que yo sugiero es que se metan al sba.gov y ahí uno puede entrar a su zip code por donde usted vive y le da la oficina más cercana a su casa. Y esas oficinas son solamente para ayudarles a ustedes en su ciudad. Le pueden ayudar a decir cómo es que se hace un plan de negocios o si usted está listo para coger un préstamo. Una de las cosas que yo siempre digo y siempre es una pregunta que dice, bueno, ¿cómo es que están ayudando a los negocios pequeños a coger préstamos? Y una cosa que nosotros siempre hacemos como un equipo es comenzamos con la educación de sus finanzas. Hay veces muchas personas dicen, necesito un préstamo para abrir un negocio, para pagar la renta. Well, eso no es necesariamente la razón por qué un banco le va a dar un negocio. Uno tiene que entender exactamente cómo es que va a pagar ese préstamo. Otra cosa que hay préstamos que los intereses son súper altos y no es necesaria la mejor forma de coger sus préstamos en ese momento. So, lo que nosotros hacemos es de verdad que le damos la educación para decirle, ok, Tiene un producto o un servicio. ¿Cuánto va a costar? ¿Cuánto de ganancia se va a hacer? ¿Cuántas personas necesita venderle o servirles para que pueda pagar su renta, para que pueda tener un ciclo de cash cada mes? So, siempre les sugiero que se metan al sba.gov, encuentren las oficinas que quedan por sus casas o también de estar parte de nuestro programa aquí con Chase por el mentorship program que tenemos. Bueno, también hay otra pregunta que dice, how is Chase able to help them when it comes to safe, affordable banking? So nosotros tenemos aquí en el banco varios tipos de cuentas que todo depende si usted tiene un depósito directo que no le cobran fees cada mes, pero hay varias formas en cual nosotros como Chase les podemos ayudar. Si no hay un Chase por su casa, por donde se trabaja, también se pueden meter al Chase.forward/business, que también hay mucha información ahí sobre cómo, well, Vanessa, me dicen que necesito un P&L. ¿Qué es un P&L? ¿O qué es un balance sheet? ¿Cómo comienzo a hacer eso? Si se meten en nuestra página, ahí van a tener mucha información para ayudarles a ustedes con sus negocios. Gracias.
Gracias, Vanessa. Ahí está Sandra. ¿Por qué no traemos a todos los expertos aquí a la pantalla, chicas? Pongan su vídeo activo, así todo el mundo las puede ver, porque están bellas todas. Creo que nos falta Grace, por ahí se va a agregar. Así podemos responder las preguntas de todas las personas y obviamente se pueden turnar y yo las puedo poner como en enfoque. Bueno, okay, what is the next question? Is it my turn? Is somebody already looking at the next question?
I want to just say something. Several people they're asking for who is my senior business consultant and my city. You can go to the landing page and fill out the form, and the person that is in your area, it's going to contact you. Para esas personas que están preguntando quién es su asesor de negocios en su área o en su ciudad, pueden ir a la página del landing page que tenemos de
Minority Businesses.
Sí, yo creo que sí está, ya está en el chat, si no ahorita lo agregamos.
Lo acabo de poner.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias, Laura. Entonces pueden ir ahí cuando ustedes lo llenan y van a poner ahí su dirección. Entonces automáticamente se va a ir al consultor de negocios que le corresponde en su ciudad o en su área, o el que está más cerquita de ustedes.
Ok, perfecto.
Y aquí hay una pregunta de Alejandra Chávez. Dice, hi, as a restaurant owner, I'm mostly worried about inflation, the cost of labor, and the cost of food going up and how to navigate those things, plus the fluctuation in business due to the pandemic. Just wondering what the outlook is in that. Great question, Alejandra. Alejandra, I think a lot of organizations are worried about that because the cost of goods are going up. We keep hearing about the chain supply, right? And being able to go ahead and find enough truckers to be able to get some of the goods over to the retailers in order to be able to get those goods. And, you know, interestingly enough, I did have a conversation with a restaurant owner this morning. And one of the plans that we created was for her to reevaluate who her vendors are, and trying to see where are the costs that she has seen increase. Is there any way that she can negotiate some of the costs that she's incurring? And if she can't, how is it that she's able to make the difference in being able to go ahead and control those costs? And so I think it really does start with communicating with whoever your vendors are to ensure that you're getting the best price by doing an analysis of all of the different products that you're buying from your cost of goods. And so I'll go ahead and see if one of the other ladies wants to go ahead and answer it. But I think that this is a great time to reevaluate who your vendors are and where it is that you may be able to negotiate your contracts.
Hi, so I want to jump in on this. So excellent point, and it is the buzzword no matter what industry you're in. One of the things that I always highlight as well is not only revisiting your current suppliers, but also talking about price points, whether you buy in bulk or partnering up with another local business that does exactly what you do. Let's say you're in the restaurant business, and let's say you're needing salt. Let's just use that as an example. Is there an opportunity where you can partner up with other restaurants and you can buy in bigger bulk for a discount? This is other ways that a lot of my businesses have been able to help negotiate those rates. So if you think about just strategizing, and I always say, think of your tribe, right? There's enough customers to go around, whether it's the restaurant world or PPE material. How can you partner with those who are doing similar? And just ask, what vendors are you using? You'll be surprised what you can find out by just asking. And yes, there is a supply chain shortage. That's not going to change. So what can you change? You can talk to those vendors, and listen, nobody wants to lose business. So this is really a time that you're able to use this to your advantage to help renegotiate current contracts.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, it's very important. Ramiro mentioned the different opportunities that we have in 2022 to become a diverse supplier, right? And what that entails, and really our local chambers and the different state development council will help your business, if you're a minority-owned business, get certified to have edge and the advantage to become a diverse supplier for a company like Chase, Coca-Cola, 500 Fortune companies, including options to have government contracts with the schools, with the different cities that you may be doing business with. So that really opens the doors for you to expand, not only in your territory, but in the entire country, including the capacity at a global scale. So part of our consulting added value is to help you navigate that process, make sure that you get certified today and understand the intricacies of what that is. Because just in Florida, we have only about 10 minority suppliers that are taking advantage of this. I see it as, of course, for us as an opportunity in my respective market, because now these businesses have the open door to be able to leverage those opportunities. And within our racial equity commitment, we are investing $750 million in this initiative to really help support those minority-owned businesses. So definitely something you want to talk about with your consultant and with your local chamber, which will be glad to hold your hand and guide you through the process. That is the mission today. So it's very intentional. I want to be able to emphasize that. We are not typically at the branches. We are here for you. Our branches are really our support that are for your convenience. But this time around, we really want to make sure we're intentional with the advice we're giving you and how we take you through the process.
Fantastic.
Yo otra que sobre eso, Grace, great point. Una cosa que yo digo es, hay veces vienen negocios que vienen donde nosotros o entran en el banco y dicen, necesito ayuda, quiero comenzar un negocio y necesito ayuda. Para que uno de nosotros, o cuando usted entra a un banco, inversionistas tienen que tener ese negocio ya listo para qué es lo que quieren exactamente, porque en el banco nosotros podemos ayudar, pero no les podemos hacer la idea. Hay veces, varias veces yo hablo con personas que quieren comenzar un negocio, pero no saben qué quieren hacer. Entonces yo les digo, usen ese tiempo y hay varios cursos que son gratis de nosotros o del SBA o de chambers que quedan por sus hogares, que hay grupos como tomarse clases para ayudarles a ustedes con esas ideas. Pero cuando vengan a un banco o a cualquier organización para pedir dinero, uno no puede llegar con una idea, porque esas organizaciones necesitan saber cómo es que le van a pagar ese préstamo. Y hay veces no es el préstamo que necesitan. Necesitan saber, entiende cómo es que se pagan. Hay veces, una cosa que yo veo muchas veces es dicen, no, este mes estoy pagando tarde y me están cobrando y es ok. Y al fin del mes están pagando $500, $1,000 más en late charges y sin saber que si hacen un plan de pagar en tiempo, les ahorra dinero, right? So es saber esas cosas que son tan importantes antes de pedir dinero. O Grace está diciendo, hay muchas compañías que están buscando por negocios que son de minorías, pero antes de tocar esas puertas, uno tiene que saber si Walmart me llama y me piden una orden de 10 millones, ¿yo estoy listo para hacer esa orden? Y si la respuesta es no, eso está bien, pero uno tiene que saber si va a pedir negocios de estas organizaciones grandes, las expectations de esas organizaciones son que ustedes puedan hacer un delivery de lo que ellos le pidan. So, muy, muy importante saber la educación de cuáles son los clientes que ustedes de verdad quieren. Otra cosa con nuestro programa es que este programa es para la gente que tenga cuentas con nosotros o que no tengan cuentas con nosotros. El propósito de nuestra ayuda es de verdadmente para ayudar nuestros negocios en las ciudades en cual vivimos. Todo es de educación, todo es de, yo siempre le digo a los negocios que yo trabajo, esta hora es para usted. Es para que usted diga, ok, esos son los problemas que tengo en este momento con mi negocio. Esas son unas ideas que crees y a dónde puedo coger ayuda con estos dilemas que tengo. Gracias, Grace.
And I would like to add something to that. Quisiera agregar algo a eso. It's also very important that you start building that relationship with your banker. As Vanessa said, it doesn't matter where you're banking. It is important that you start that relationship. Es muy importante que usted empiece una relación buena con su banquero. No importa en qué banco esté, es importante que usted busque al banquero de negocios para que le ayude. Because sometimes if you want to do something and you don't know how to do it, you can go to your banker and your banker is going to be able to connect you with the best contact for you to grow your business. Entonces, eso es muy importante. Cuando usted necesita ayuda para mover su negocio al siguiente nivel, si necesita un préstamo o inclusive ahorita estábamos hablando de alistarse con las ideas. Bueno, escribir un plan de negocios. Tenemos organizaciones, está el SBDC en todos los Estados Unidos. The SBDC is in every single state. You can get help to write a business plan to get ready to get funds and also to make sure if you really need it and if you're ready, as Vanessa was saying. I had a client yesterday and we were talking about her beautiful health clothing. It was she's a nurse and she started a business because she said, oh, the clothing that we're using is so boring and so bad and very uncomfortable. She created this business and I was talking to her, are you going to be able, because she wants to grow the business. And we were talking about getting her WBE certification, Woman Business Enterprise certification. And she was so excited. And I was like, okay, now it's time for you to start getting ready with the human resource to make sure that you're going to be able to deliver whatever order you get from those stores. Entonces es muy importante, por ejemplo, ayer yo tenía esta clienta que tiene un negocio que vende ropa para enfermeras y enfermeros. Y ella era enfermera y se dio cuenta de esta necesidad porque no le gustaba esa ropa, estaba muy incómoda. Y ahora ella está en el punto en que está creciendo. Entonces yo le dije, bueno, es importante que tengas tu certificación como mujer dueña de negocios, pero te tienes que empezar a preparar para tener la capacidad de producir lo suficiente para que puedas lograr entregar los pedidos cuando te los hagan. Entonces, escribir un plan de negocios es muy importante. Asegurarse que tienen una buena relación con su banquero es muy importante. Y hablarnos para una asesoría también es muy importante.
Gracias, Alejandra, Vanessa y Grace. Quiero asegurar que tenga yo el tiempo para responder. Aquí tengo a un cliente de Chase que dijo que cuando hubo el tiempo del PPP, tuvo problemas en contactándose con un banquero. Y ese es el punto que está haciendo Alejandra, que realmente uno tiene que tener la intención de ir a hablar con un banquero. Si usted siente que no se le está dando la atención a usted, usted tiene el derecho de hablar con el gerente de la sucursal, porque ellos están ahí para ayudarles también. Así que ese tiempo de cuando tuvimos el programa del PPP fue un tiempo donde nosotros como un banco tenemos 3.3 millones de clientes. 3.3. Entonces, realmente hubo mucho, estábamos todos ocupados tratando de ayudar a cuántos podríamos ayudarle. Pero antes de que algo así esté ocurriendo, mi consejo es que ustedes vayan a la sucursal, conozcan a su banquero para cuando ustedes tengan un problema, ocupen ayuda, tienen alguien que los pueda ayudar. También hubo muchas preguntas de la forma. Si usted va a nuestra página, usted puede llenar la forma, pone la ciudad, pone lo que es su dirección y de ahí vamos a asegurar que podamos ponernos en contacto con ustedes, con el consultor que esté en su local. Bueno, tenemos 7 minutos aquí más y antes de irnos, quería ver si si las consultoras podían dar el consejo de qué es la manera mejor de manejar lo que es el cash flow. ¿Qué son lo que ustedes ven que hay que uno tiene que hacer como empresario para asegurar que tiene control de todo su dinero que está entrando y saliendo de su cuenta? Voy a empezar con Grace.
Perdona, Sandra, se me quedaron congeladas la pantalla. ¿Puedes repetir una vez más lo que dijiste, por favor?
No, más
se me
la
congeló
pregunta.
completo la pantalla.
Sí, no, la pregunta era de cash management. ¿Qué consejo es lo que tenemos para el empresario de cuando está navegando lo que es los ingresos o las ganancias que tienen? ¿Cómo es que ellos pueden realmente manejar lo que es la liquidación de su negocio?
Muy importante, gracias. Disculpe nuevamente. Bueno, para todos, lo más importante de entender el flujo de caja es optimizar y entender cómo el dinero entra al negocio, cómo lo estamos manejando y cómo estamos pagando tus egresos, tus pasivos. Siempre es importante entender qué áreas podemos trabajar, qué áreas podemos reducir para siempre elevar y maximizar tu ganancia. Porque si tú tienes áreas como de mercadeo, entretenimiento, que puedes ajustar y quizás invertir en lo que es toda tu imagen, en empleados, en otros territorios, quizás en otras áreas como vender en la internet. Muchos negocios hemos visto que han aumentado el 80% de sus ventas por simplemente tener la oportunidad de vender su producto o brindar sus servicios en línea. Ahí tienes una opción más para poder obtener más ingresos en tu empresa y poder maximizar ese flujo de caja. Es muy importante saber cómo podemos entonces incrementar también los distintos suplidores que te pueden dar a ti descuentos a la hora de tú comprar más mercancía, ¿no? Para aquellos que están en producto, en los servicios de producto y venta de tal. ¿Cómo estas organizaciones te permiten avanzar con descuentos cuando compras más, teniendo una herramienta de crédito que te permita acceder a una compra más grande, ¿no? Siempre y cuando tengas como tener una habilidad para manejar tu inventario. Es muy importante tener un orden, una estructura. Antes de tener herramientas, hay que tener la estructura. Por eso fundamentalmente nosotros siempre hablamos del número 1, entender las operaciones de la empresa, entender la visión y el propósito. Alejandra hablaba del propósito. No podemos dudar ni no saber cuál es porque entonces, ¿qué estamos vendiendo? Si vendes widgets, pues más vale que sepas qué son estos widgets, cuáles son sus debilidades y sus fortalezas. Muy importante a la hora del flujo de caja, entender cómo es tu estrategia de mercadeo a nivel local y si estás expandiendo entre otros territorios, aprender de esos territorios. Nosotros tenemos herramientas muy importantes dentro de la banca que nos permiten enseñarles a ustedes cómo analizar el mercado, los precios, el flujo de caja de los mismos y cómo trabajar con las demandas de productos y con si trabajas en el extranjero, cómo manejar el tema de estos mercados. Es muy importante que aprovechen esas virtudes que les ofrecemos internamente para todos ustedes.
Muchas gracias por la respuesta. La otra pregunta que tengo, ya con los últimos minutos que tenemos, es ¿qué tipo de consejo ustedes les dan a los empresarios de cómo se pueden preparar para seguir creciendo durante este tiempo? Vanessa?
Sure, great question. I think the first thing that I would say is that I always say that as an entrepreneur, you already have a different gene in your body. And, you know, I think a lot of times people are expecting success overnight. And as entrepreneurs, you know that it takes a while. And it's a lonely life being an entrepreneur. And that's why I say really building your tribe, getting to know who your competitors are in your local market and making friends with them and especially right now, I say, you know, we work with businesses from all sales sizes. And the number one thing that I've noticed is that people that continue to be resilient, it doesn't matter if today you're making $1,000. It doesn't matter if today this is a hobby turning into a business. That's how all businesses get started, is somewhere. But make sure that nobody knows your product, your service better than you. Make sure that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but make sure that you understand the financials behind it. It's okay to have a hobby that makes you a little money, but if this is something that you really want to be intentional about to make it a business, you have to understand the financials to it. A lot of times we work with entrepreneurs that hate the financial piece, and later on they hire someone to take advantage or to take part of that business, but nobody should know your business better than you, even if it's a slow start. So keep going.
Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate that. We're running out of time. Great conversation today. From the comments that I'm seeing in the chat, we've had a lot of individuals that were very grateful for the advice, and I want to recognize Ramiro and the entire U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for allowing JPMorgan Chase to be part of today's event. And so, Ramiro, if you have any closing questions, I will turn the mic to you. Thank you, Ramiro.
Thank you, Sandra. Excellent job moderating a panel with amazing professionals who are helping our small businesses every day. Muchísimas gracias a ti, Sandra, al equipo de JPMorgan Chase por tu liderazgo y tu pasión para ayudarle a nuestros empresarios. Noté en todas ustedes, Vanessa, Grace y Alejandra, y contigo también, Sandra, la pasión que tienen ustedes para ayudar a nuestros empresarios y empresarias. De parte de la Cámara Hispana de Comercio de los Estados Unidos, quiero agradecer también a Laura Sosa por la ayuda en nuestro equipo y todos los que nos acompañaron. Revisé la gente que nos acompañó, muchos líderes de cámaras, gente fuerte, muchos empresarios y empresarias y gente que está trabajando en el mundo de ayudar a nuestros pequeños negocios con el gobierno y con el sector privado. Entonces, on behalf of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much, Sandra, you and Vanessa, Grace, and Alejandra, for your outstanding work today. The whole team at JPMorgan Chase is a powerhouse. So on behalf of our board of directors, Alice Rodriguez, our chair, and our whole team, we're very thankful to you and very grateful. And we look forward to working in the future and hasta adelante. El futuro es de nosotros y lo tenemos que hacer sin miedo. Entonces, let's get the tools and the resources we need with y'all's help. And I know our businesses will lead our American economy forward. And it'll be a more Latino and Latina economy, but one that's going to be working through us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.